Tensions escalate as the U.S. engages Iranian tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, a deadly volcanic eruption in Indonesia claims lives. Join us as we count down today's top 10 global news stories that are shaping our world. Here are today's top 10 stories you need to know. Political turmoil continues in Tennessee as the state grapples with contentious redistricting efforts. Recent developments reflect a divided legislature where differing opinions on district boundaries have led to heightened tensions among lawmakers. The implications of these redistricting battles extend beyond state politics, influencing congressional representation at the national level. As the state approaches upcoming elections, the stakes are high for political parties aiming to secure advantageous districts. Observers are closely monitoring how these disputes will unfold, as they may lead to legal challenges or changes in voter mobilization strategies. The outcomes from Tennessee could set precedents for how redistricting is handled in other states, making this a pivotal moment in American electoral politics. U.S. military vessels have reportedly been involved in strikes in the Caribbean, raising significant concerns about regional security implications. These strikes are part of ongoing missions targeting drug trafficking and other illicit activities that have increasingly plagued the region. The Caribbean has emerged as a critical battleground for U.S. military operations, as authorities strive to dismantle entrenched criminal networks that threaten both local and international stability. The recent actions taken by U.S. forces may strain diplomatic relations with local nations, prompting debates over sovereignty and national security. Regional governments are now reacting to these military interventions, with some calling for enhanced cooperation, while others express alarm at perceived infringements on their autonomy. As the situation develops, the long-term stability of the Caribbean may hinge on how effectively the U.S. balances its security objectives with respect for local governance and sovereignty. In local news, Charlotte Mayor Vi Lyles has announced a series of new initiatives aimed at addressing community concerns and improving city infrastructure. These initiatives focus on enhancing public safety, transportation, and housing. The mayor emphasized a commitment to community engagement and transparency in her announcement, which aims to foster a collaborative atmosphere among city officials and residents. As Charlotte continues to grow, these initiatives are critical in ensuring that the city meets the needs of its diverse population. The mayor's proposals are expected to go before the city council for approval, marking an important step in the governance of Charlotte. As discussions unfold, the impact of these initiatives on the local community will be closely monitored. This announcement reflects broader trends in urban governance, where city leaders are prioritizing responsive policies to enhance livability. Former President Donald Trump has publicly stated that the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran remains intact, despite the recent military engagements in the Strait of Hormuz. Trump's comments come amid rising tensions and conflicting reports about the status of the ceasefire, which has been fragile since its inception. His remarks suggest a desire to maintain diplomatic channels and prevent further escalation of conflict in the region. The former president's position reflects an ongoing debate about U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East and the effectiveness of diplomatic efforts. Analysts are divided on whether Trump's claims can hold weight in light of the current military actions. As international observers await further developments, the focus remains on how U.S. and Iranian officials will respond to these conflicting narratives. The potential for renewed hostilities looms, raising questions about the future of peace efforts in this volatile region. Recent reports indicate heightened U.S. military activity in the Caribbean following incidents involving U.S. vessels. This increased military presence is part of a broader strategy aimed at ensuring maritime security and protecting vital U.S. interests in the region. The Caribbean has been increasingly impacted by various geopolitical factors, including drug trafficking, human smuggling, and territorial disputes among nations. In response, the U.S. Navy has been conducting operations designed to secure critical shipping lanes and counter illegal activities that threaten regional stability. This military engagement reflects a growing concern over rising threats, with officials emphasizing the need for vigilance against potential aggressors. The implications for local nations could include either increased military collaboration or heightened tension with regional powers, particularly as they address their own security challenges. As the situation evolves, it will be crucial to monitor how this military posture influences U.S. relations with Caribbean nations, especially regarding joint efforts against common threats. In a shocking development, a judge has unsealed a purported suicide note belonging to Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender whose death sparked widespread controversy. The contents of the note remain largely undisclosed, but its unsealing has reopened discussions about Epstein's life, his connections, and the circumstances surrounding his death in jail. Epstein's death was officially ruled a suicide, but many conspiracy theories have surfaced, questioning the events leading up to his passing. The note's release may provide further insights into his state of mind and the secrets he took with him to the grave. This development has reignited public interest in the case, leading to renewed calls for accountability among those associated with him. As investigations into Epstein's network continue, the implications of this note could have far-reaching consequences for various high-profile individuals. The media and legal experts alike are closely following this case as it unfolds, anticipating potential revelations that could alter public perception. In a landmark decision, the Virginia Supreme Court has struck down the results of a controversial redistricting referendum, citing violations of electoral law. This ruling directly impacts how voters will be represented in the state as it resets the district maps ahead of upcoming elections. Redistricting has been a contentious issue nationwide, often leading to accusations of gerrymandering that manipulate political power. The court's decision may prompt a thorough reevaluation of district boundaries to ensure fair representation and uphold the principles of democracy. This ruling arrives at a pivotal moment, as numerous states are finalizing their electoral maps, making it especially significant. The implications of this decision could resonate beyond Virginia, potentially influencing similar legal battles in other jurisdictions grappling with redistricting issues. As the political landscape shifts, lawmakers are now tasked with the challenge of creating maps that accurately reflect the demographic makeup of their communities. Looking ahead, the focus will be on fostering transparency and accountability in the redistricting process to promote equitable representation for all citizens. In Indonesia, a volcanic eruption at Mount Dukono has tragically claimed the lives of 3 hikers. The eruption, which occurred unexpectedly, produced a significant ash cloud that billowed into the sky, prompting local authorities to issue immediate evacuation orders for nearby communities. Mount Dukono is one of Indonesia's most active volcanoes, with a history of eruptions that pose severe risks to both residents and visitors. Rescue operations are currently underway, searching for additional hikers who may have been caught in the eruption's aftermath. Experts are closely monitoring the volcanic activity to assess the likelihood of further eruptions, which could threaten local populations and disrupt air travel in the region. The Indonesian government is collaborating with disaster response teams to ensure safety and provide aid to affected areas, including medical assistance for the injured. This incident underscores the ongoing risks posed by natural disasters in Indonesia, a nation located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, notorious for its seismic activity. Authorities are urging residents to remain vigilant and adhere to safety protocols as they prepare for potential future eruptions. A troubling Hantavirus outbreak has emerged aboard a cruise ship that is now heading towards Spain. Health authorities are preparing for potential evacuations as passengers may have been exposed to this rare but serious virus. Hantavirus is primarily transmitted through rodent droppings and can lead to severe respiratory issues, with a high mortality rate in some cases. This outbreak raises alarms as the ship, which had been on a Mediterranean cruise, is under close scrutiny. Health officials are assessing the situation on board, and passengers are being monitored for symptoms. Immediate medical attention will be provided upon disembarkation to ensure that any affected individuals receive care. In Spain, hospitals are on alert to handle any cases that may arise from this outbreak, showcasing the serious implications for public health. The cruise industry, already struggling post-pandemic, faces renewed scrutiny as safety protocols are called into question. This incident not only raises concerns about health safety on cruise liners, but could also significantly impact travel plans for many potential cruisers. Authorities are emphasizing the importance of transparent communication regarding health risks in the travel industry as they navigate this public health crisis, highlighting the need for enhanced prevention measures moving forward. In a significant escalation of tensions, the United States has reportedly fired upon and disabled 2 Iranian tankers in the strategic Strait of Hormuz. This incident comes amid ongoing disputes regarding maritime navigation and the safety of shipping routes in this critical region. The Strait of Hormuz is a vital passage for a significant percentage of the world's oil supply, making any military action here a matter of global concern. Historically, this waterway has been a flashpoint for U.S.-Iranian relations, with previous confrontations underscoring the fragile balance of power in the area. The Iranian government has condemned the U.S. actions, labeling them as provocative and threatening to retaliate. Reports indicate that the U.S. was acting in self-defense following perceived threats from the tankers, which were allegedly linked to smuggling activities. The international community is closely monitoring the situation, as further conflict could disrupt oil markets and escalate military tensions in the region. Analysts are debating the potential consequences of this confrontation as diplomatic channels remain strained. The implications for global stability and energy prices remain uncertain, with oil prices likely to fluctuate in response to the heightened tensions. As both nations assess their next moves, the potential for broader military engagement looms large, raising concerns about the future of regional security. Thank you for watching today's top news stories. Which story shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.